My name is Tony Byers. I'm the principal of the Grammond Park School in Cambridge. My understanding of dyslexia is that it is a disability that primarily interferes with decoding of language and is primarily a problem with phonological processing. But the result of that is often a lot of difficulty in learning to read. So I'm an educator. I'm the principal of an elementary school, and so education is very important to me, as is reading instruction. But my own journey through schooling was, at least in the beginning years, was very challenging, especially around learning how to read. So I started kindergarten like everybody else, and in fact I had a twin brother, and everybody else was learning to read, and I was not. And this was an experience year after year. So kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade. So even in third grade, I did not know how to read. And I can remember very clearly feelings of, certainly wondering why other children were able to do this thing I could not, especially with the same instruction. I have very clear memories. This was at a time when people were using basal readers, when there were these large textbooks that were assigned to different reading levels. And everybody in the class knew which were the highest basal readers and which ones were the lowest. And even to this day, I can remember that you wanted to be in the basal reader called, I think it was Barefoot Island. That was the highest reader. And I was always, repeatedly, in the lowest reader, or not even in one of them at all. I would have sort of special books that I brought back from the special educator. And this was very clear to me that I was somehow different. And it was incredibly frustrating not to be able to read, especially when reading was required for access to other areas of instruction. And it wasn't until fourth grade, and I can't say why exactly, that things started to come together for me. But to this day, I can remember sort of the watershed moment of finally being able to read a chapter book. And it was exciting to have access to the content. It was exciting to be able to read, but it was almost more exciting to read a book that looked like the books that my friends were reading. And I have very strong memories of that. And so, I feel very strongly about, helping students not have the same experiences that I had, or if they do, helping them understand that they will learn to read, they are not stupid, and that the world of literature is open to them, and not only open to them, but just an exciting place and world that they will join. Some children need different skills to learn to read than others. So for a student who's learning to read, I would tell them that we will teach them the skills that they are going to need to learn to read, and that it is going to take a lot of effort and it may take a lot of time, but that they will be successful. But while they're learning to read, they should still develop a love of books. So make sure that you're listening to audiobooks, that your parents are reading to you, because there's so much amazing things in the written word that I wouldn't want you to have to wait for so long to get access to it. Most educators, including myself, are trained in teaching reading for students who may not have dyslexia and may not be trained to identify the early signs that that's a disability a child might have. And so I think broader awareness helps everybody identify children earlier. I think it's also important for children themselves not to be invisible. And so many of children with dyslexia feel a large sense of shame, and in school and at home they may figure out different ways of sort of accommodating their disability or hiding their disability or coping. They become very good at sort of reading the environment and figuring out workarounds that don't require reading. I think the more children who know that dyslexia exists and may explain their reading difficulties, and that there are people who know how to teach them to read with particular techniques, may feel less sort of alone or isolated and more empowered about their own disability. Also, it's important to provide children with models of adults who have dyslexia who have gone on to achieve great things. It is not a disability that at all limits what children can do in the future. And I think having these events that bring greater awareness to the disability, and to folks who have it, give children an opportunity to see that they are going to be successful.